Okay, so now I'm going to come back into the middle of it now. Avoid those tight turns. Right, so I'm going to come back into the middle. I'm going to take a reference from the existing ground level. I'm going to follow the stockpile up. Start to take a gentle cut off it. Just basically go straight through the middle of it, full blade. So if I come round to the other side now, see that I've got quite a big windrow in front of me. Now I know for a fact that if I put my blade behind that windrow and start pushing that, I may start to struggle with it. So what I want to do is I'm just going to reduce it a little bit just by taking a nice gentle cut off the side of it. So again, a reference on my blade against the existing ground level. I'm just going to start to grade this up. So now on my next pass, I'll be able to get behind that windrow, completely behind it, push it. So just slowing it down again here, just allowing that material to come out, just working the blade, using the tilt just to chop it. Okay, just pushing that nicely. Okay, so that will come in time with experience, knowing what you can and can't push. So if you look at the volume of material in the blade now, okay, what I don't want to do is carry that all the way to the hole and leave it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start to feather it out now. So I'm going to start leaving it high. Allow the material to come out of the blade. There's too much material there. And the way, the consistency of it as well, the way it is, it's not going to go in the hole how I want it to go in the hole. So I'm going to rework the material. And you can see I'm losing the material well before the hole. So I've still got that bit of the hole to fill, but I've still got a relatively decent bit of material to work with. As I come back, I'm going to track in what I didn't track in going forward. Now the reason I'm doing that is because I want to change the way the material is. I want to change the way it's going to behave. By tracking it and compacting it, squashing it and getting all the voids out of it, it works a lot better with backfill. Slow it down, start feathering it, allow that material to come out, and you'll make the hole smaller and smaller. What I don't want to be doing is having material in front of the blade now, because the only way I'm going to get that back is by having to come round to the top of it, turn around and push it back down the hill. And if you don't understand how to lose the material, you'll keep repeating the process. You'll end up doing it down the bottom of the hill, and you'll end up pushing it back up the hill, and you're not maintaining a short cycle of work. And that is a mandatory. How you're going to attack it next. So I'm going to take this last windrow out, move, manage your blade as you're travelling. You need to get in tune to the feel of the ground. You need to be able to read the ground. You don't want to overrun. I've got a little hole left. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start blending. I'm going to start doing a little bit of grading. I'm going to blend the voiding. And you can see by looking at where the cut was and existing ground levels, you can see how we've boned it in. We've tied it into the existing ground levels, and that's what we need to do. So now this is where you need to be clever as to where you take your material from. Just going to speed it up a little bit. Slow the machine down. See how the material's sticking in the blade? You've got to wait for it to come out. This is really intricate work, this. This is finishing work. We're not bulking anymore. Now, because I've got a little bit left on that to my left, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come around in a different angle and just swoop that round. It's nearly full now, so this is where I need to be clever and not heavy-handed in terms of where we get this material from, because we need to blend that hole back in. What we don't want to do, if we do overshoot the material, like that for example, and we've gone too far, there's a time and a place for backblading, and you can get penalties for it. So backblading basically means getting the material behind the blade and then dragging it back. You will accumulate penalties for it, but there is a time and a place for it. But during your test, you will receive penalties. If the material was dry and it behaved well and it fell off the blade like we needed to, I wouldn't use this process, but I wouldn't need to. But what I don't want to do is have to keep coming back on myself, changing directions. Because I've got some track marks down here from where I turned before, I want to keep the side tidy, so I'm going to be clever as well. I'm going to use that material. I'm going to blend it from the bottom to the top. I'm looking at obviously what the blade's doing. I'm only taking millimetres off here. I'm looking ahead as well, see where I'm going, to see where all the low spots are, if any. Just going to carry this material, feather it out. See how I've got to slow the machine down, because I need it to fall out. So I'm just going to go backwards here, hoping that some of that will fall out. Backwards. Just go over it again. just tickle the tops of